Hi, welcome to the next edition of porting over a standard deck to Pioneer. Now, we do have some, when it comes to regards to some information about this deck, when it comes to the Pioneer version, but I wanted to make this deck close as I can to the most played versions of Standard. So we're going to be trying out Domain Overlords. So there's going to be a lot of cards in this deck that don't really see play in the Pioneer version, but they do in the Standard version. We're going to try to keep them as we port it over. That way you're not just kind of vomiting a bunch of for new rares and mythic wildcards. I kind of want to reduce how much you actually have to pay out. So there is some differences here, but I think overall a lot of it comes with the triumphs, so that way we can get access to tricolors. Makes the deck a lot more consistent. So let's get into the deck. If you like Domain, let me know in the comment section, and smash that like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification for future videos. We're on our way to 1,000 subs for this Magic the Gathering channel. And let's get into the deck. Let's see the deck in action. So our deck, we have 4 Zers, 1 Beza, 4 Flood Pits, 4 Hauntwoods, 3 Mist Moors. We still get to keep our Herd Migration. It's in the original version and Standard. We have 2 Sunfalls, 2 Day of Judgments. I moved the Pest Control in the board. There is still some Pixie decks in Pioneer, so it still has some relevance there. But overall, I think it's something I would want out of the board. We have 2 Get Lost, 4 Vanishing Verses. It's just a really good removal spell, so we'll keep it, or we'll make the slight upgrade. Then we have our 4 Bindings, 4 Beanstalks. 25 lands, just like the Standard version. Literally all I did was take out the Surveil lands, and sometimes I added a Shock, because I wanted some more untapped lands. So I did add some Temple Gardens. I did add a Breeding Pool. But at the same time, I also added like Ketcher Triome, 2 Rogren Triumphs, 2 Spar Headquarters, 1 Ngotha Triome. So that way we have a little bit more tap lands that add more domain. And also I try to make sure that we have the colors that can cast our Overlords consistently. Sideboard, to stick with the same kind of plan as the Standard version. Of course, there's no Yorion. Many of the Overlord builds for Pioneer are Yorion decks. So you could definitely try that version if you want, but I'm trying to stay on flavor here. 2 high noons for Phoenix, and also oh my gosh, Lotus. 2 negates for a little bit of counter magic. 2 formations for enchantment hate plus Atraxa hate. 2 pest controls as a way to fight through the pesky bounce deck. 3 rest in peace for a little bit of graveyard heat. 2 knockout blows for aggro, and 1 Day of Judgment for aggro. A Emrakul as a way to fight through control. Pretty nice there. I know the Standard version usually plays Nisa, but instead we're going to play Emrakul just because it's much cooler. So that is our deck. Let's see if this deck has what it takes to compete in Pioneer. Okay, Courtyard, Scavenger, passes. Temple Guard, tapped, goop. Elcid. Puts a counter on the Scavenger. That's me. No land yet, so I'm going to put this on Avatar. Go ahead and play Up the Beanstalk, try to find a land. Another Up the Beanstalk, not what I'm looking for. I might have to actually get lost here. Then again, he probably does Elcid. So I think I go for it, and if he does sack it, he doesn't get the maps, I'm pretty sure of it. So he gets to choose between one or the other. But I do need lands. That's like the most important thing. Alright, take our beads. Another Up the Beanstalk. Alright, try again. Ouch. I guess get rid of the Zur. This kind of sucks. But we'll see if he can't make a comeback. Because the Sunfall will be really good. I mean, eating up the Beanstalk is okay. I guess, am I just kind of desh? That's the real question. I'm taking a massive beating here. And I can't get to a Wrath. Especially not when I'm not drawing lands. Okay. I guess Day of Judgment. Verse is pretty nice. I think I get rid of a Zur. Headquarters, go. Cage Sequoias. Okay. Avatar. Beanstalk. Go. I think it's correct to do the green overlord here. Okay, so take the green overlord. Alright, let's go ahead and draw 3 cards. I don't think I need a cavern. Go. Innocence. Sure. That's me. Get rid of the innocence. Go. So next turn I think I play the headquarters tapped. The other possibility is I could play Zur and turn on the Overlord and hit for 5, game 5. And Elsid. Maybe that's the most optimal line. Ah, crap. You can't do this and something else. Let's do that, I guess. Say go. That was my bad. I should have just played the tap headquarters then. Another scavenger. Draws a card. A bat takes a get lost. Okay, tap land. Attacks. We'll block. Alright, so Groves is scavenger. So we go ahead and Zur. I think this is actually a pretty good turn for me. Because at this point, I think I want to turn on the Overlord and attack with the Overlord. Gain 6. I think it's gain 7, isn't it? Yeah. And attack. What do you got, opponent? You gonna block it? Or are you gonna take 7 down to 8? Alright, goes to 8. Alright, so now we have a 5-3. With lifelink. Another innocence. Okay, grows the scavenger. Probably should be boosting the bat. So I think I just get lost the bat. Alright, got there. It could Paw Patch. It does get rid of enchantments, but I think I'm okay. Right back. Alright, so I think I want to lead off with... and got this Rhino. Okay. Just for 1 damage? Okay, so... I think it's correct to just ignore the Beanstalk entirely. Go. Because I think I'd rather get this down next turn, which allows me to get a guaranteed Beza or guaranteed Overlord of the Flood Pits by hardcasting it. Alright. Go. So now I get to play Beza, which should gain me 4 life, and also make some fish token to block these. I just need to survive a turn. Then I can start potentially stabilizing. Alright. What else do you have? I'm not sure why you would do that, though. You only need to tap the ganja. You didn't need to pay a damage. Okay. So, I guess that means I have to Beza. Go. I need a Wrath. Preferably a Sunfall. So I'll chump, or... Yeah. Sure. Take my Zur so I don't get lifelink. I mean, that's respectable, I suppose. I mean, I'm going to be playing this... Yes, Overlord of the Flood Pit. Trying to find a... So I think it's wise for me to try to keep my fish alive. Right? Because if he attacks with more than just the... Yeah, so I want to keep the fish... This to block that next turn. Should probably pump the other scavenger. Or the fire makes sense too. Alright, I need a Wrath. I can still draw exactly a Day of Judgment. Please. Give me a Day of Judgment. At this point, I'm basically hoping for... Not that. Not that at all. Yeah. Alright. 0-1. Let's get into the next. They can now catch or try and go. Another canal, that's it. Up the Beanstalk. If this is Phoenix, it should probably counter that. Okay, no Spell Pierce. Good for me. Alright, so next turn I play Swamp. Then what? Yep. Play with Fire. When did Phoenix pick up Play with Fire? Maybe some new tech? Okay. Take it. I need a second white source, though. My colors are not allowing me to cast things. Treasure Cruise. Alright. I think I'm okay just doing that. Maybe I should actually just up the Beanstalk so that way I get to draw a card. Maybe that's a little bit more relevant in this current predicament. And plus, it requires only one of the two colors. So if I somehow top back on the white source, I maybe could have done something. So one Phoenix is in the yard. I do need to actively draw a land. White source is perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and drop down a Leyland Binding. Get rid of the Artist Talent. Let's go ahead and drop down a Overlord of the Blood Pits. And say go. I think I'm going to get rid of a Get Lost. I think Banishing Verse is probably my best target removal in this matchup. It just gets rid of the Phoenix for good. And I don't really think he has that many ways of bouncing my bindings, so... So he's probably going to get his Phoenix back this turn. Yep, that should be enough. So I definitely need to Vanishing Verse one way, maybe binding the other. Prankster. Oh, wow, there's... Is that all of them? Okay. 15? Or something like... Man, that's a lot. So first things first, I need to tap this one. I need the black source for this. So I need to grab... I need a white-black. Then I also need a white whatever. So I could Beza. That would not be enough, though. I need a verse one. Finding another. And then go from there. I am essentially at 2. I'm at 1. Okay. That's not good. And it is. Alright. So rest in peace in. High nude in. Beza, probably want to cut. I want to lower my curve. Jade Judgment, not as important. Sunfall works because it exiles, so I like that. Maybe 1 Zur, 1 Get Lost, run it like that. Tap land, go. Alright, I think we could win this game. It's a lot easier to win on the Bay for this deck, of course. It also was crazy he found all 4 Phoenixes, which is very unlikely to occur. Let's play up the Beanstalk. See if you have a counter. Annul. Sure. Go. Sleight of hand. So I could definitely Overlord of the Flood Pits, which means I shock myself to 18. I think that's probably my better line. See if he has another counter. At this point, I just kind of need to draw into lands. And I'd rather do it this turn. Perfect. I don't think I need a second Overlord. Say go. So I have my land for next turn. That's great, because I don't have to actually herd. I guess I have to herd. Yeah, I do. Right? So I could have a Vanishing Verse up. Because right now I'm basically... So go ahead and do that. Grab a Swamp. Play the Swamp. Question is, do I care about this artist talent? Probably. Considers to get one last trigger out of it. So next turn I could up the Beanstalk. Or I could Overlord. Maybe Overlord's better. Because, I mean, I could play Plains. I can't double spell if I do Overlord of the Flood Pits, which is Mismort, which is the problem. Poor opponent has to deal with the Verges. This cycle does not work for this deck, honestly. I mean, I think they only play Steam Pins. Alright, so we could take some beating. So I have 2 options. I could... Oh, that's actually interesting. I think I upped the Beanstalk. And Overlord of the Flood Wars. So if he tries to counter this, I guess that's okay. So they both go off. I think I keep Cavern. It might be a little relevant. I don't need a second plane, so I think my next turn has to be Sunfall. Then this and this both come off. Or one of them comes off, so I have a blocker for the following turn. So I don't know what he's going to do. Draw. I don't think that pretty much, I think, means a Phoenix Parcast is off the table. Unless he... Oh, just... That's it? You have no other card draw effects? That's pretty sus. Okay. Go ahead and try this. Now, if all else fails, I could top deck a Leyline Binding, which could also be worth it. Alright, so that comes off. So, we get a 5/3 to block. Alright, no Phoenix yet there. So I can trade. Okay, so that means my Phoenix is going to be +3, so that would be a 6 toughness thing. A 7/6. Raise and borrow. Alright, so we're at 7. Okay, so my turn has to be this. The other options I could have upped the Beanstalks plus impending. But I really just kind of need double chump blockers for this Phoenix. That's nice for next turn. No Phoenix. That's good. So we just need to dodge double removal. Prankster. No more Phoenixes. That's good. I'm happy with that. So, no 2 removal spells, please. I need to keep my little insects. Alright, hard cast it. I will chomp. I have to keep attacking with the Overlord. So I keep making more and more of these 2/1 insects. Rest in peace is nice. I mean, what do you guys say about that? Annul. Get rid of the Phoenix. And append. Get rid of the headquarters. Triumph. Hit for 6. Go. So now I have a 5/3 on the block. Now he can make his Prof can make his Prankster pretty big for a Vigilance blocker, but I don't think he's getting out of this one. I would hope not. That means something really had to go wrong. Because I mean, right now we are so far ahead on board presence. I mean, I have so many chump blockers. He is not finding Phoenixes this time around, unlike last time when he found 4 of them. So I'm happy with this. Got game 2. Run it back. Headquarters, go. This first is going to be a little weird, but I think I can make this hand work. I can cast Zur on turn 3 into the Overlord. Or maybe I want to Overlord first. Purge, yep. I think I want to Overlord first, because then I'm going to play Zur. I should have enough to play Zur and then also potentially enable this. Weirdly enough, though, like, it does take double white. Overlord, go. So I put this on Wizard. That means this taps, taps, taps. Yeah, that should work. Because of this land, right? This one, and this. It gives me there, and then I pay Wizard. Hit you for 5. Go. So that should help me a lot, right? Gaining 5 there, really good tempo advantage. Having a 5/5 is pretty decent too, so I'm happy with that as well. And then I have a Vanishing Verse for backup while making tons of everywhere lands, so this is like a really explosive explosive game for me. I think we might be pushing a 1/1 record here. So I'm going to play the Plains, I think. It's safe. I mean, you can go ahead and kill my Zur. I'm assuming you have something there. I can care less about the 4 damage. I'm gaining 5 back, so we play up the Beanstalk. Try to find something else. I definitely want to keep up Vanishing Verse. attack with the Overlord. So he has to kill the Zur before he can touch the Overlord. Okay. Get rid of your Phoenix. Alright, reset. Draw a card. Go. Now I can just do it again. Play Zur. Turn on the Overlord and attack. Okay, so he's definitely picking up the removal spell. So that means the Zur is getting answered. Looks like a cruise is inbound. And another land and a draw. And hits me for 5. Okay, so now I have to Sunfall. I could Vanishing Verse. 8. This takes 5, that takes 2. I think that's okay. I think I go ahead and play a tap land. Getcha. I want to keep this one for sure, because I'm probably going to cycle it later. I don't have anything else to do. Right now I'm just got to keep applying pressure, close this game out, make him waste his axe on my Zur, and hopefully that's enough to get me there. No more Phoenixes, still. That's good. Picks up a Consider. Considers. He could still cast a Prankster to get a little bit of a bonus. Treasure Cruise. Okay. You could have a land, I guess. Did he play one this turn? If he does land, plays Prankster, that's pretty good. Overall. I guess I'd trade my Hauntwoods for it. Because what are the odds he wouldn't make that trade? Opponent's thinking about it. I mean, if you haven't played a land, I would. And try to kind of trade with me. I mean, losing a Prankster or Hauntwoods is a pretty good trade exchange rate, I think. You can trade it up. Well, it matters. And you have more cards than me, so it also matters. New emotes. I don't know. Classic salty people. Okay. Play that. Draw a card. Opponent. Where you at? I think I'm going to be 1-1. I'm assuming this is going to be the end of him right here. Yeah, 1-1. Let's get into the next. Headquarters, go. Alright, Elf. Up the beanstalk, go. Okay, Innocence. Get rid of the Innocence, go. This looks like Coco, if I had to guess, like the deck. Play Roger and Triumph. Go. I'll cycle the Headquarters. Yep, there's a Coco. Oh, it's Angels. Got it. Now I know. So, I have every color, I think. I have Domain. Pretty sure of it. So we cycle. So this means he probably is not playing Aven Interrupter. So it should be okay when I get to the Sunfall. Let's get another Coco's inbound. Oh, Bishop of Wings plus a 2-drop. Why didn't you... I don't know. Try to play Sunfall. Go. Righteous Valkyrie passes. Turn that on. Play a Zur. Get frisky. Go. Sky Mega Mystic. And get lost. Hit me. Another Zur. See what we have on top. Get lost. Don't care about. Play a Zur. Land. Shove. Yep. Gahada. That's what I thought he had before. But he didn't play it when he left up 2 mana. Hit you for 5. Take it. Okay. Play a Beza. Go. So now he has to start blocking me. Like, there's no way he can get around that. Cable's Reconstruction. Could get a Skyclave Appetizers is like his best move. There's the Skyclave. He does get a Investigator. So I think I let that go. They gained 4. Oh, they gained crap ton. And they get frisky. I'm going to go ahead and cycle. Alright, I need to find something. Alright. Play a 5-3. Get rid of the Verge. So I can't do this as well. So I'm going to go ahead and play a tap land. And I can't attack, per se, because of the Investigator. Unless I kill the Investigator. I think I do. I think it's probably more correct to kill the Gahada. But Gahada has more upside later. If he doesn't kill Reconstruction. Okay. A Skyclave. Eats my Beza. Might up the Beanstalk. That's okay too. That's probably less rewarding, honestly. Can you attack through my Overlord? I mean, I have another Overlord, so I'm happy with that. Makes 7. Okay. So I think I'm going to go first. I'm going to just straight up attack out. It gives me an extra, more looks at cards. See what happens here. I mean, I'm going to Day of Judgment and then go into an Overlord, so I don't really care. Yeah. So now Zur just turns them both on next turn. Seems like the best line. Gahada. Hit. Zur. Turn it on. Turn it on. Another Overlord. Get rid of the Triumph. Got it. Alright, another day. Maybe patch that can kill flyers, which is kind of relevant. Beza cut. Most of the stuff has flying anyways. Not doing a lot of work. Zur, I think, is really good here, because they also are quite aggressive. 1 Beanstalk. Yeah, maybe I don't need the paw patch. I think just having another day makes a lot of sense. Cutting the Beza. Beza's more for actual aggro decks. Everything he has is monocolored, so I think I'm okay with this. So he leads off with that Elf. Play a Verge. Go. I really need a color, another white. I guess I'm with white, ain't I? Get rid of the Angel. Go. attempt to Overlord. Do you have an event interrupter? Just a bishop of Lords. That's based. So, if we get to this Overlord of the Mist Wars, that's probably where we want to be. Okay, cracks a map. Cracks another map. Alright, take it. And I got Hada. Attempt to sweep. You get a 1-1. Go. So, I can't get to this Overlord that I want. We go to 16. No, that can get me a blue source, so that's kind of nice. Play an Overlord of the Mistmores. Yeah, go. So, his removal, I don't think, can get that. Unless he plays the Werefox. This should trade here, this should trade here, and I should be okay. I mean, I'm going to trade. At this point, once I get this Overlord going, I don't think I could lose. That's interesting. Do I take the one that's coming off, or do I think I keep the better card? Pound for pound, in case magically I top deck a Zur. Alright, so play Overlord. Get rid of the Verse, play tap land. Go. Now, you might have a removal, I guess, for the Overlord. The Seiju's my better Mistmores. Okay. So, here, I think I need a black... What? A black blue. I don't have a black blue, do I? So, I think I do... And dot the Triumph. Yep. I was thinking about getting another blue source, because, I mean, that's kind of... I have 3 blue sources now. I guess this maybe not as bad as I thought. Play another Overlord. Get rid of the Verge. Play land. Attack. Get rid of a land. Play a Up the Beanstalk, say go. So a Verge is still pretty good here. I should close it out, yeah, and we get a 2-1 record. Not bad for such a sweet deck. Let's get into the wrap-up. So what did we learn this week about this deck overall? We did manage to lose against more of an aggressive deck. Sadly, we weren't able to put it together enough time before they actually won the game. It's very hit and miss. We couldn't find the Wrath overall to be able to bridge that Game 3. But I think every match, we went to Game 3. And we managed to pull off the win twice. So I'm quite happy with that result. It's just a slight modification in the draws. I probably could be 3-0. So that's kind of where you want to be in a game of Magic, right? Is where you're always in it, regardless of the situation and the matchup. This deck feels like it could be that. Which is why it's dominant in Standard, right? Because there is a huge aggro meta as well in Standard, and this deck still strives. So overall, I think this deck is actually pretty decent overall. We beat Phoenix, and we also beat the last deck, Angels. So that was pretty nice. But we did struggle against that one aggressive deck. But overall, I mean, that was enchantments, auras. So, I mean, that could very well be adjusted. I'm not sure if I should have brought in pest control. Like, he does have some 1-drops, Scavenger and El Cid and stuff like that. But at the same time, a lot of his things also are 2-drops. So wasn't really sure if I should bring that in or not. Maybe it is arguably better than a Get Lost, because it does answer multiple bot things, which is better than answering one thing in that matchup, I think. But let me know in the comment section what you guys thought about this list. Where do you guys rank Overlord, Domain, and Standard or Pioneer? I'm super excited about bringing this list. If I could ever get my hands on the 4 copies of the Scavenger, or whatever that green thing is, the 3 mana, 1/1 that makes a body, and you could pay 2 into it, that's played into cage decks in Standard. So that's probably something I want to target next at some point is how do I bring the cage deck to Pioneer? Because that is actually a pretty sweet idea. If you have any suggestions at all, let me know in the comment section. Like I said, I don't have access to that sand dude on Arena. Like, I don't have any place. I don't have any copies of it, and it's mythic. So, and until next time, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Talk to you guys next time.